Hello. All right. In this video, we are going to do the blue piece, is what I call it in class, or what is correctly called the breaker. This piece was the second piece that we did in class, and I'm going to show how to get this done now. So just like the brown piece or the clamp, we are going to do this with the front view. I'm going to snap this over to the right side of my screen, snap Fusion over to the left side of my screen, and I'm going to zoom in so that I can see the front view nice and clearly. I might have to switch between views here, but most of what I need is on the front. I'm going to go ahead and change my document settings to inches again, just like I did last time. Don't forget that. Click OK and create a sketch on the front, just like that. Move my sketch palette out of the way, and whoopsie, I always forget. I have my controls slightly different. Okay, now what I'm going to do is sketch out this basic shape. So I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to start here on the origin, pull over to the right, go up, go left, go up, back, and go down. Pretty simple. Basically just an L shape. The overall width of this, so from here to here, is 6.5 inches. A lot bigger than how I had it originally. This line here is just 1. Yeah. And, oh, I must not be thinking correctly because I definitely did not add in this thing. So I'm going to do that now. And if you did the same thing as you're following along with me, all I did was add 3 more lines there. And I'm just going to use the trim tool, which is the scissors, to cut out this little piece here. There we go. Okay. The distance between these two, according to this drawing, is 3/4. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to fillet. I'm going to fill. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? This is also 3/4. So I'm going to do that now as well. There we go. So now I can fillet this. It's 5/16 this radius here. So I'm going to click here and click here. And oops. No, I'm sorry. That's not how I do that. Use the fillet tool. This is the first time we're using the fillet tool. So I'll zoom in on that. I'm going to use the fillet tool and click on the corner of this piece right here. This little white dot that shows up is the corner. And the fillet is 5/16. Enter. All right. Not going to worry about this hole yet. So we're going to go over to the entire height of this piece is 2 1/8. So we can do that now from here to here. 2 1/8. There we go. That set that in there. How far in this is yet to be determined for the moment, but I think we can figure that out. Is that possible? I think so. So what I'm going to need to do now, because we're designing this here with the way this circle is, and we don't have this arc to really base any of our dimensions off of, we're going to need a couple of construction lines, because what we need to do is determine where the center of this circle is. So that's going to be, so I'm going to go to my line tool, and we're going to click construction here. And I'm going to create a couple of construction lines from the top to the very bottom of the piece on this sort of left side. So I'm going to click here, pull down, just like that. That's going to be the center of the circle. And the other thing I need to do is set the distance between where this part becomes flat again up here, right? So this basically from that corner to where the piece starts to curve, because see, it goes straight for a little while and then it curves in, which is actually where the center of the circle is. So maybe I don't need a second one. I don't know why I remember doing 2 construction lines before, but I don't think I need one. Oh, I see. Okay. It's because of this 3/4. So what this 3/4 is, because see how it's pointing at a hidden line. So that 3/4 is really saying the distance from this line to this one here, which we can do. So I'm going to use the dimension tool here to go and click here and here. And that'll be 3/4. There we go. And now the distance from the edge, which I was talking about before, to the center of that hole, which is where we made the construction line, it's 1 3/4. So again, the edge to the center of the hole, 1 3/4. Very good. All right, we still have a couple things not set, so let's see what that might be. That's this gap here, which moves this, which also moves that. So that's basically it. How wide the mouth is from the end. Now, this we can do, but only because we could figure it out with some math. So if we know that the radius, this long circle here, is 1.5, then we know that that's, radius is obviously from there to the center. We know that if we double it, we get all the way. 1.5 times 2. All right, 1.5 times 2 is all we need to figure that out. So that will be the distance from here to here. And you can have AutoCAD do some math for you too. Not that 1.5 times 2 is all that difficult, but you could do 1.5 times 2, just like that. And it'll figure that out for you, which is 3. Now, clearly, that doesn't look quite right, so I must have messed something up. I have radius there for 1.5. And that is accurate. Oh, man, what am I saying? If it's from here to here, I'm making a lot of mistakes in this video. If this thing gets published, it's because I really just wanted to get this over with. So that is radius right there. That is not diameter. So I didn't even have to do the whole times 2 thing. Just 1.5. There we go. That looks a lot better than the other one. That looks much more accurate. So now I'm done. We should have our red padlock, which we do. We're going to go ahead and click Finish Sketch. Click the Home button and extrude this to the width, which is going to be 3 inches wide. And press Enter. All right. Now to do this sort of this diameter here, this curve, I'm going to go ahead and click on the top of this piece and create a sketch there. I'm going to create another construction line, and this construction line is going to mean the exact same thing as that other construction line, right? Just that it's the center of our arc. The center of that arc. The center of that arc from there was 1.5. And now I'm going to create an arc by going to the arc tool. That is not on the ribbon here, so I have to go down to arc. I'm going to do a center point arc. So I'm going to click the center, and then the start, and then the end. So center point arc. I'm going to find the center. That's going to be the midpoint of this line, which we know when we're on because we get this little blue triangle right here. So down my construction line until I see the blue line. So that's the center of the arc. The top will be the start of the arc. We're going to go around until we click on the bottom. Now I'm realizing one mistake. That was a construction line, but I want that to be real. So it's really easy to reverse. I can just click on that and click on that construction button again to make it real. So now it's a real line. While I'm here, I can go ahead and sketch in the circle that's supposed to be here, which is a 1-inch circle. So I'm going to click the center diameter circle tool. Click on the center of the circle and go, oh, I'm still on construction, so I'm going to turn that off. Do that again. 1, enter. Now I have my 1-inch diameter circle as well. I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch. And I'm going to extrude these two corners and the circle, extent all, and flip. Click OK. And there we have it. Pretty nice. Almost done. We're just going to go ahead and focus on this part of the drawing now, because we're going to get these two circles in here and this arc here. So now I'm going to click on this part of the piece. Click create a sketch. I'm going to do another one of those center arcs, center point arc. Do the exact same thing I did before. Like so. And define this as being a radius of 1. I am also going to do 2 circles and make sure that their center points start in the same place. Just like that. You know they share a center point if you see this little symbol here. All right. That little symbol just means concentric. Concentric means it's 2 circles where the point is the same, where the center points are the same. Sorry. All right. One of these circles, I'm going to dimension the outer one, the bigger one, to 1. And the smaller one is going to be 1/2. Now you'll notice that even though we have the numbers for those, they're not constrained. And that's because I haven't told Fusion360 where on this piece I want it. So that's where these 2 dimensions come in. This 1 3/4 and the fact that it's center. So to do the center one, I can just say that this dot and this dot are on the same horizontal vertical plane. All right, so I just selected the 2 dots, the dot that makes up the center of these circles and the dot that makes up the center of that arc. And I just made them horizontal vertical with each other. Well, technically horizontal. All right, so now the only thing that this circle doesn't know is where is it this way? Where is it this way? And that's 1 3/4. So I'm going to use the dimension tool, click the center of my circle, click the back edge of the piece, and define that as being 1 3/4. All right. Now I still don't have a padlock for this. I'm not 100% sure why. My guess is that it doesn't think that we're all the way constrained with... Oh, I see. It doesn't know that that's what it is. It doesn't know that this arc ends on that point. So that's easy enough. I'm going to click my coincident tool and snap the end of that arc to the end of that piece. And now I earned my red padlock. I'm going to click finish sketch on that and the home button again. Now I want this one and the middle to go all the way through. If I look back at my piece here, we notice, right, that this smaller, from the smaller hole to the end of the bigger hole only goes down a little bit. As a matter of fact, we can look at the distance of that. It only goes down 1/4 of an inch, but the smaller hole goes all the way through the piece. Okay. So I'm going to click on both of those. Click extrude, select the extent type to all, and click the flip tool so it cuts all the way through. Now, unfortunately, that means, of course, that I've lost that sketch. But all I have to do is click the eyeball on sketch 3 to make that sketch come back up. Because I'm going to need that one more time to click on this outer circle here to do an extrude. Negative, because I want to cut down 1/4. Enter. Now I'm going to click the eyeball on that sketch again. And I've got the end of that piece all finished. Looking good. So again, if you're doing this in my class, just go ahead and click on the home button and take your screenshot of this piece here to submit to Canvas. As usual, hope the video helped, and I will see you in the next one.